Hey everyone, I am here again, just a little bit off screen this time, but I am going to be making some brownies, and I'm using the cake mixes that I have here that I found in my pantry, and I want to get rid of them and use them up, but I don't want to make a cake. I want to try making brownies because I have brownie pan from Pampered Chef. So you can make individual brownies for anybody, and I really like to try it out, so I thought I'd try it out with you. So what I'm also going to be doing is using a few different products that I have. This is part of it, the batter mixer and dispenser. Here. So this and this go together, and you can mix up your ingredients in here and then squeeze the handle and it pushes your ingredients out of the bottom so that you have perfectly portioned brownies or pancakes or muffins, whatever you're using it for. So first thing you need to do is first make sure that you have this on your bottom. That way it doesn't seep out of the other bottom piece there that I showed you, the little circle. Just adding in my wet ingredients first. And I had planned on doubling this recipe, but I'm not sure that the mixer will be able to handle 2 cake mixes, but we'll see. I might have to do it in a bowl and then put it back in this. So the recipe to use for changing a cake mix into a brownie mix is 1/3 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of oil, and 1 egg. And you can use all kinds of different cake mixes that they have available for different types of flavored brownies. I have a chocolate fudge, which is a very dark chocolate, and I also have a white cake that I'm going to mix with it because I found that this chocolate fudge is a little bit too dark of a chocolate for me, that I would rather have something a little bit less. And definitely not going to get 2 cake mixes in this container. So that's right. I'll mix this up and then I'll put it into a bowl. This way you can see how this works. So it has the blender piece there. I'll lock it on, and we want it to get down to the bottom. There we go. Just have to give it a few twists and turns, and then, oh, sorry. There's a little bit stuck on the bottom, so I'm just giving it a swirl at the bottom. There we go. So I am going to transfer this. Oop. It's all mixed up. So you definitely can only use 1 cake mix or brownie mix or anything like that in this. It's not quite big enough to do a double batch. So I'm just going to pause this and I'm going to mix up my white cake mix in a bowl with it, and then I'll put it back in and show you how it goes from there. Okay, so I mixed it up in my batter bowl, and then I put it back into my batter mixer and dispenser. And as you can see, I'm at the 4-cup level, and there's not a huge amount left in my bowl, but enough to make it so that I don't want to add any more. So what we need to do is this piece here will go on to the mixer, and then put it in at an angle until you get to the top of the batter. Level it out, and then and lock it in place. So there are 3 different sizes here that you have a switch to choose how much batter you want. And I'm going to go with the middle one. Each one is a certain amount of measurement. Unfortunately, I don't remember what they are at the moment. So if you do want to know that, just send me a message and I can look it up for you. Can you see okay? Maybe me bring you closer. Sorry for the rattle. Okay, so you just gently squeeze the handle and out comes the batter. You don't want to squeeze it once it's done. You don't want to keep squeezing it to try and get more out because you're just going to break your handle. So that is on the middle. So you how much there is. Definitely not enough. So I'm going to do one more squirt with that size. I'm going to switch it to the big one and go from there. I think that's about right. Just use a spoon here to spread it out and make sure that I got enough. It all kind of curls up on itself like a ice cream from a soft serve machine does. So it doesn't spread because it's very thick. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing all of these and then I'm going to pop them in the oven. Okay, so I got most of it filled up. The last few, I'm finding that my arm's getting a little bit sore. I've been having some troubles with my shoulder, so I'm just going to set it right on top of the pan itself and give it a squeeze, gently, of course. And that will actually fill it, actually a little bit better looking. They look like giant Hershey Kisses. I'm going to do that again for this one. And last one. There we go. I'm just going to set it back on its little coaster there so I don't get my counter dirty. So I'm going to pop this into the oven and I'm going to bake it for, I'm not sure how much, about 15 minutes. And after that, I have something that's new that I'm going to try out with you. All right. I am going to put some whipped cream in with the brownies after they've cooled down, and we're going to have them as dessert. So this is the whipped cream maker, and this is the Help Whip Cancer color. It's pink. Normally it's the same teal color as the batter mixer. So if you're wanting a pink one, sorry, you missed out. But it still works just as good. So all you do is you put a few spoonfuls of sugar, and I use monk fruit, which is a sweetener that's natural, but it doesn't affect your glucose levels as much as regular sugar does. And I also put 1 cup of whipping cream, and there is a fill line on here, but it is a little bit difficult to see. So if you measure out 1 cup, or if you just buy the small container of whipping cream, that's what this will take. So this is like a 30-second thing, and you don't have loud noises with the mixers that you usually use to make your whipped cream, and your arms won't get tired from using a whisk. So all you have to do, turn the camera down a little bit for you. There we go. So all you have to do is just hold it. It has the coaster on the bottom, so that'll help prevent slipping, and just go up and down. When it starts to get a little bit hard to pump up and down, you know you're just about ready. I'm gonna do this different. Go all the way up, unlock it, and there we go. Perfectly whipped cream in less than 30 seconds or so. I got a little bit of spillage out the side, but the bottom coaster acts as a lid, so you can keep this in the fridge and you can use it whenever you like. The brownies are out of the oven, and this is the other thing I want to show you. These are the new boat presses that Pampered Chef came out with for the fall, and there's a square one for the brownie pan, there's a rectangle one for the mini loaf pan, and there's a round one for the mini muffin pan. So what you do is you bake your cake, or if you were doing a meatloaf, or you could even put Rice Krispie treats in here, and while it's still warm, you press down and it'll make an indent. Yeah, you can see that pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to just quickly go through all of these. You want to make sure that you get it in the center of each of these squares, because otherwise you're going to have a leaky square. Alright, so everything has been cooked and it has been cooled. And as you can see, I've started filling up my Brownie Boats. And if you had a piping bag, this would work great, but spoons work just as well too. So you just take a scoop and you fill up your brownie. You can put some sprinkles on here to fancy it up, or some sauce, some caramel sauce, or some M&Ms, or whatever. It's chocolate shavings. This is just for us, so I'm just going to keep it basic. And that is how you make Brownie Boats with whipped cream from a cake mix.